B to be or not to be? That is the question.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of B to Be or Not to Be. I am Daniel O'Connor, Director here at Transform, and I am joined by
Karolyn Andrews, Head of Content here at Transform.
And today we are going to be talking about business awards and why they are important, why they are necessary, but also how you can form an application for a business award. So what are business awards and why do they matter in the B2B marketplace? I think there's a multitude of reasons. I think one is credibility and being able to show that you do have the skill sets, you are able to perform at a level that you become recognized. I think another incredible thing, not for just ourselves, and we are flexing a bit here, we do have some of our awards on show.
Including the Creepy Clown.
Including the Creepy Clown.
But it's a good award.
Incredible award. I think it's the morale boost for the team as well. There are awards here that Karolyn specifically has been awarded, a gold award for best use of content at the Pride Awards for CIPR. Incredible achievement. And from my point of view as a director, and particularly when we're out and about pitching to clients or prospects, or even talking to clients and prospects and events where we speak, I always mention the awards because I'm incredibly proud of the company as a whole and the team that we are able to enter so many awards in on a yearly basis and win, and to sit here with gold awards as the best PR consultancy of the year in the Southwest or in the south of the UK year after year, that's an incredible achievement and something that I hold very close to my heart and something that I'm incredibly proud of.
I think it's twofold, isn't it? It's that external projection and that's really positive and beneficial for the business, but it's also it has internal value as well. And like you said, the pride that comes with working as a team to achieve an award and to deliver the work and be recognised for it. So it's, both internal and external, the value.
Definitely. And I think if I look back at the memories of when some of these awards are being announced and we're watching live, either in the office or on site, at an actual award ceremony, that buzz and that feeling when you get an award, and it doesn't have to be gold, even when you win a bronze or a silver, just to be recognised.
Or being shortlisted.
Yeah, I was going to correct myself then and say, actually, even just being shortlisted is an incredible achievement. And when that announcement comes and your company name comes up and it goes across the big screen, it is that wow, and just, I think, elevates people. So something that I love to do, and we've been entering awards here at Transform for a number of years now, 4, 5, 6 years. But in previous companies as well, I think it was pivotal to the growth of some of the organisations that I've been a part of in the past. We're looking at now the boosting of credibility and winning awards and enhancing your credibility and reputation. Karolyn, can I ask you to speak about some of the awards that we've won alongside our clients? Because we've got joint awards where we've produced things in unison with them. We've produced either a magazine or a white paper or something that has won, but also our own internal awards. But what do you think an award does inside the organisation and then for the industry?
So there's so many different types of awards out there. There's business awards, there's content marketing awards, there's design awards. So, we've worked with clients on a number of those. We work with a client who in the talent management space. So, a different space to what we're applying for in our own awards. So, but we work with them to help them identify which awards they want to apply for, which will be most beneficial because there are so many in that space, and to speak to their people, their subject matter experts in the business to really sort of gather the data and the information and tell the story. So I think, those are the most important things. Those are the first kind of steps of the process. So it is, what is going to build your credibility within the award nomination? What is the differentiation? What makes you different to the other, to your competitors in the field, to the other people who might be applying for those awards? And then, some of the things we'll talk about later, how do you make the most of it as well?
Yep.
Should you be successful? And some of the benefits that come with that are the increased visibility, the opportunities to talk about it on social media, to reach out to the media with sort of press releases and stories about, your wins or shortlists, your brand image. It's really beneficial to that. It validates your brand's quality, the expertise you have in your business, and the perception of your brand that with a whole host of stakeholders, right across your stakeholders. You've already talked about existing clients, potential clients, the industry as a whole, as you say. It's important for that as well. And with that comes potential business growth opportunities. As you say, applying for awards and winning awards is a really big step in business growth. But I really like, one of the things I like the most about working on awards nominations and working with clients on awards is that the trust and loyalty with existing clients. So we work with our clients to produce award nominations for work that we've done together, because it is a partnership. We don't work with clients that tell us to go off and do this and then we do it. And it is a collaboration. It's a partnership. And the process for applying for and putting the nomination together, it's not an insignificant task. Mm-hmm. And there's real value in working with clients on that. And it's really enjoyable because, as with anything, the temptation is to be very future focused. What's next? What are we going to do next? How are we going to make it bigger and better and improve on what we've done? But actually, awards are an opportunity to look back at what you've achieved.
Yep.
And working with the people we work with to bring those nominations together, it's really satisfying. It's like, oh yeah, look at all those things we did in the last year. Look at the metrics. Look at the results they've had. So rather than just moving on to the next thing, just putting the nomination together is a way to celebrate success.
And you've brought up quite an important subject there about putting the awards together, because when you're writing the awards, you're also writing incredible marketing content and collateral, aren't you? There's something there that you can use. And I think what's really important is when you're incredibly lucky to win said awards, what do you do with them afterwards? Mm-hmm. What would be your recommendation? So I've won this award today. It sits on, I know we've won it. It sits on the shelf in the office. What could we do with that that's different to what others may or may not do?
Well, I think everything you possibly can. It's like, make the most of it. As I said, the investment of time and effort to pull together an award nomination is not insignificant. Particularly, winning nominations, they take time and effort, and it's worth it. But should you be, shortlisted initially, finalists, winners, you really want to make the most of it. So at every stage of the process, it's great social media content, and award organisers, often give you supporting materials to help with that and help with ideas with that. So, use those, come up with your own ideas. Tell the story, publicize it at every possible stage on social. You've also got the potential to talk to the media about it through sort of press releases or pitching the story. As you said, these are case study stories that are interesting in their own right often. So there's opportunities for media angles there as well. So social media and the events themselves, as you said, we don't need an excuse for a night out, but award ceremonies and finalist events are really good opportunities to get out there and talk to people about, who you are, what you do, people in the industry itself, but potential new customers and new people that you could partner with. So make the most of the events as well, and updating your marketing materials.
Yeah.
Our design team love it when we win an award or get shortlisted, because it needs to be added to everything. Make sure it's on your website, make sure it's on your email signatures, make sure it's on all your brochures and collateral. And so absolutely make the most of it, and thank and celebrate with the team at every stage of the process, so you're getting that engagement piece as well.
Definitely. I think it's definitely a team building event when you go out for a night out. But what I would highly recommend, if you're in London, absolutely book a hotel. Don't try to travel back the same night. And I've won quite a few awards in London, up at the Grosvenor in Mayfair, and had some very late nights back on a train with some quite inebriated colleagues. And that's not the best way.
You don't want to fall asleep and end up in Penzance. It's not ideal. Which cuddling your award.
That's happened, but not the Penzance part. I woke up next to an award many years ago for the Esther Awards in the property industry, and I woke up with a gold award next to my head in bed, and
with the implant on your face,
literally gone to sleep with it, very proudly. I'm going to throw a slight curveball, Karolyn, and none of this is written down on our notes that we're sort of following today, but what type of awards would you avoid or recommend to avoid in any industry, any sector?
There are some, and I think going back to the process of applying for an award, the first step is absolutely do your research and look into those awards, and it does become apparent pretty quickly, which ones are credible, which ones have the reputation and the industry backing, and, look at past award winners and how credible and viable they are. Do your research. Credibility is really important of the award and the reputation of the award. So look into that. I think often when you're approached by an award to say that you're already shortlisted when you haven't actually...
Or you've won gold.
Exactly, and you haven't actually applied for that award, I'd be suspicious. And then it turns out that the tickets for the awards ceremony are extremely expensive. But
about 500 each.
Yeah, but you're a finalist or a winner, so of course you're going to go. That kind of thing. So it is do your research and think about the awards that you're applying for, and also the categories within those awards. So are the awards and the categories relevant? Are they aligned with your objectives and your values? So is there a particular product or service that you're focusing on that and you could use an award to help with that? Or going back to what are your successes and looking at what your big successes from the last year have been, and select awards based on that. So that research part and deciding which awards to go for is really important. And as you say, filtering out the ones that really aren't up to scratch. Exactly.
Yeah. It was a slightly loaded question because I have an opinion on that matter myself, and we're approached a lot. You've won this, you've won that, which is great, but you haven't won anything really. And then they send you the packages and they say, so the bronze package and the silver package and the gold package, and they tend to start at 2,500 plus. And what am I getting for that? What is the credibility that I'm getting back? There are also other awards out there, and I've been to them and I've sat at them, and you can almost pick in the room who's going to win each category, because it is a pay to play, because they spend the most with them on advertising or whatever it may be. And those kind of awards we just avoid, don't we? We don't want to be a part of that. We want something that's genuine, that's either voted for by customers or voted for by a proper judging panel that is impartial and not biased to did you spend £20,000 with us advertising last year, so we'll give you a gold award this year. That's not what we're involved in.
And I think the nomination process in itself can give you a good indication of that. So, are they asking the rigorous, relevant questions in the application form? Are they asking for specific metrics? Is it very clear and transparent what they're measuring and what they're judging on? So, when you go into writing a nomination form, getting all your information together and all your metrics and the information about what you set out to do, how you did it, and what you delivered, and if the application form doesn't rigorously examine that, then it's probably not a particularly credible award. And at the same time, my strong advice would be to make sure you tailor your award nominations for every different award, every different category, because they are all different and they're all looking for different things. So just having a template nomination form that you submit for everything won't be effective. You can have your core information, but you do need to tailor it for every different award. And then there's one other thing that we talk about, things that I'm prepared to die on a hill over, and this is one of them, that when people write award nominations, I think it's so important to tell the story.
Yes.
I think when you write anything, thinking about the person that's going to be reading it is so fundamental before you start writing. And it applies here. You have a judge who's got tens and tens of nomination forms to read through and filter through and give them something interesting to read. Yep. Those poor people, and it's going to make you stand out. So what's the story? What's the narrative? Like every good Netflix series, what's the story arc? And if you can put that in, as well as the metrics and the evidence and clear objectives, then I think that really helps. It can be really effective.
That's a really good point, I think, because a lot of the proper awards, we'll call it, and I'll be careful how I say that. I don't want to offend anybody, but the real awards platforms that you want to be a part of and that you want to win, there is a submission fee, isn't there? And it's usually several £100s per category that you're entering. So if you're going to spend the money and the time to go for it, it's worth investing the time to do a proper submission, isn't it? With, like you say, the story and relevant information that's going to capture somebody that doesn't know you. You may be the best in your industry, and you are, and you're the biggest and best for a multitude of reasons, but the judge or the panel on the other end may have never heard of you. So I think that's a really good point, to put a bit of heart and soul into it.
Exactly.
But if you can't, or you don't have the time, there are people out there that will do it for you, like us. It's something that we do for our clients, and something that we enjoy. It's a fun process, isn't it? And when you see the clients win, and you can celebrate with them, that's another one of the golden nuggets of our jobs, I think, is being a part of that journey and story. So, in a nutshell, what would be your sort of top tips? I'm not going to ask for a number, because then I put you over a barrel to come up with that many. But what would be your sort of top tips when you're writing an award submission? Where would you start, Karolyn? What would you say the process is from your perspective?
Well, it absolutely starts with researching the right award for your business and for the projects that you want to shout about. So that research, the preparation, I'm always about the preparation, getting together all the information you need, asking people for the metrics that you need, in plenty of time, whether that's around website, social, so getting the teams involved in those people to get you the data that you need to support your nomination, speaking to the people in the business who delivered the project to uncover the story, and getting that, those real personal insights and that story and that, that arc of what were the objectives, what were the challenges, how did you address them, and what did you deliver? So having those conversations with people in the business, and then sort of taking the time and skill and effort to craft that entry. So, get your best writer on it, get your best people on it to really produce something that's compelling, and then proof and check. Get different people to proof and check. It has to be pitch perfect. There can't be typos. There can't be mistakes. To your point, somebody proofreading it or checking it might pick up on something that's like, well, I don't know what that means. That's a bit jargony, or it doesn't make sense. And it gives you a chance to sort of refine those points as well. So those are the main stages. Those are the main tips. And another tip I would say is, think an award nomination is quite an internally focused thing, looking at, what you've done and what you've achieved, but looking outwards as well. So, what are the trending topics in your industry? What are the things that people are talking about that are relevant and challenges or pain points or solutions that are going on in your industry at the moment? And can you bring those into your nomination? So things like, emerging technology and artificial intelligence, it's like, well, is there any way that you're building that in? Diversity, equity and inclusion is so important. Has that come into your project? How did you deliver on that element? ESG, environmental, social and governance, that should be coming into almost, everything we do. How did you incorporate that into your project? So bringing some of those important topics, even if they seem unrelated, that they're all really important. So trying to include how you delivered on those things as well.
And bringing it to life so that the people at the other end can understand who you are, what you've achieved and what you're doing going forward. And who would you say is best placed within an organisation to write an award submission? Is there a particular role or a particular department that you would recommend for award submissions?
I think the marketing team is a good choice. I think sometimes within a business you have really good writers that can be in any part of the business. So the sweet spot is somebody who has been involved in the project and is a really good writer, and that they will really get to the heart of it. But I think that the marketing team or the communications team in a business will know how to tell a story, know how to construct a narrative, and understand that, and also I think the risk of being, as you've said, too into the depth, into the weeds of the topic is that you go in too deep, and you're sharing too many details or using, sort of jargon or technical details that don't really tell your story or don't put you in the best light. Whereas the marketing and communications teams will be able to take a step back and look at it from through a broader lens.
Yeah. And we're going for many awards ourselves again this year. We've got some that you're writing at the moment, yes, I believe.
Yes, just before we came in here, I'm constructing an award nomination for some content awards. And yeah, it's really enjoyable working with the client on it, pulling together the metrics, collaborating on it. And like I said, looking back on our successes of the last year, when we've already started working on, the 2024 stuff and we're looking forward, it's really nice to take a little bit of time, as a team, with the client on what we achieved last year.
We've got some exciting news that Ronnie and I, my business partner Ronnie, are going to announce on Tuesday of next week, and I'm trying to be slightly candid because you don't know this yet, and our wonderful Luke, who sat behind the camera, doesn't know this yet. But a particular member of our team has won an incredibly exciting award. As I say, will be announced on Tuesday. I can't say too much, guys, so I'm going to have to hold it there because I can't let the cat out of the bag. But we will update on that in the near future, and it will be on our socials. As we are saying, to promote things on socials, it will be out next week live for you all to see. But I think to sort of conclude and round this off, I think personally as a director, it's incredibly important to go for awards and have them behind you. I think it's good for the organisation. I think it's good for the team. And I think it's good for prospects to see that they can trust that you are able to deliver. You are accredited and awarded for the services that you offer in your sector or industry. But any of you out there that are considering awards at the moment, if you just simply want to have a quick 5-minute chat of what could you do? What could you do differently? Then please pick up the phone. We'd be more than happy to help. Equally, we're happy to help you construct your award submissions and get something out there for you to win awards, and something that we can celebrate alongside you. So if you have any queries, please do get in touch through the website or give us a call directly. And thank you for listening today, and thank you, Karolyn, for your input, because you are the award submission guru, 100%, as you are also awarded for best use of content in the south of the UK, and something that I shout about on every pitch meeting that I go to.
You do.
Proud we are of you.
And thank you for that.
Amazing. And thank you guys for listening. Take care. We'll see you next time.
B to B or not to be? That is the question.